Hello everybody, this is Kurgan here, and today we're going to be talking about Battlefield 4. Now if you've viewed my channel before, you've seen that I've done BF3 weapon reviews. That's basically what I started with. I've done some gameplay with my friends, and I've done some other information basically on patches, or if I felt a particular weapon wasn't used very often, what it was actually good for. Well, now I'm going to be moving into Battlefield 4 coverage because it's going to be coming out this year, and we're getting closer and closer to it, and more information is going to be released. And speaking of that, there actually has been a bunch released recently. I believe it was yesterday, but possibly the day before, that the Xbox One was announced. And with that being announced, there's going to be information from a ton of different companies because they want to get the information out there that their games are going to be releasing or coming out for the new consoles, because consoles obviously sell a ton of games. So with that, EA jumped in, DICE jumped in, and they released some information about Battlefield 4. Now, the first thing that they said basically is that it's going to be released on PC, of course, Xbox One, of course, because that's what was just announced, PS4, and then still going to be released on PS3 and 360. Now, they haven't said what the technical differences are going to be between these. It's obvious that the PS3 and the 360 are going to be crippled versions. Now, how crippled, who knows? That's something that we'll probably find out more as the summer moves along. The interesting thing is going to be when these consoles release. There hasn't been any real date put out there. So are they going to be out before this game releases? Are people going to be able to play BF4 on the PS4 and the Xbox One at the release date, or are they going to have to wait? If they are out before the release date, then there's probably going to be a good amount of people playing on them. If not, the console players are probably going to have to actually pick them up on PS3 and 360, and then those numbers won't be so dwindled, whereas if the new consoles came out, obviously the numbers on the old consoles are going to be dropped, and it's going to kind of create a split community. With the Xbox One news comes the pre-order DLC bonus information. If you had seen some screens from GDC, or not necessarily screens, but pictures, there was a promotional display up that said that the download content, the bonus download content for pre-ordering the game, was going to be called Drone Strike or something to that effect. And there wasn't no real official release on if that was going to be the download content. Well, now they've actually released the name, and it's going to be called China Rising. Now, if that's the same as what Drone Strike was, if it's just a rename, maybe they weren't happy with the name, that would be what my guess is. But that's unknown. Maybe it is a change in download content. I don't know. China Rising is going to consist of 4 multiplayer maps, just like Back to Karkin, and all the maps are going to be on the Chinese mainland, and they're going to have new gear and new vehicles in this download content, most likely like the BF3 DLC gear and such. Basically, the gear is going to probably transfer through the game. You know, you'll be able to use all the different weapons and such in all the different maps. You're not going to have just specific to the download content, you know, an AUG or something like that, where you wouldn't be able to use it in the vanilla game. The vehicles most likely, just like in the download content, will be specific to that download content, so you won't be able to use them outside of it in the vanilla maps or in other download content. That's just a guess, but I'm going to assume that they're going to keep it that way because it kind of works. Now, speaking of pre-orders, it also seems that PC gets a digital deluxe version. This is only going to be available on Origin, and what the difference between this is this comes with a BF4 beta key and some in-game content. Now, there is no word on what this in-game content is at this time. My guess is going to be that it's going to be skins of some sort, camos for your soldier. If they gave weapons that weren't able to be unlocked by other people, that would kind of be unfair, but they very well could give you maybe some early unlocks to weapons, like with BF3 I know that some places gave the DAO as an unlock, so it could be something like that as well. But this all remains to be seen on exactly how much bonus that they're going to give. I believe the price difference is $10, so I'm hoping it's a good amount. If you do spend that $10 extra, you should get a decent amount of unlocks. And since I just rolled over some information about the digital deluxe version coming with a BF4 beta key, let's talk a little bit about this, because DICE has released some information. Basically, there was a small Q&A on details about the beta, how you're going to get access, if you have access, those kinds of things. Now, that's the question. Do you have access now? How do you gain access? Well, there's 3 ways to gain access to the beta. The first is pre-ordering BF4 Digital Deluxe Edition on Origin. The second is owning BF3 Premium, and the third is owning Medal of Honor Warfighter Limited or Deluxe Editions. So those are your three methods, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who own BF3 Premium, so you're kind of, it's a given that you're in, but there's two other methods to get in if you haven't ever purchased Premium. Now, if you have qualified for the BF4 beta access by one of the previous methods, do you get a choice on what platform you want beta access on? This is one of the questions that was asked. And you have access on whatever platform that you gained your qualifying key from, basically. So if you have BF3 Premium on PS3, that's where you're getting your key. So that's going to be your only option. Now, another question is if you have multiple keys on the same platform, can you give some out to friends? What happens with these? And basically it's treated as one key. So if you had BF3 Premium and you got Medal of Honor Warfighter all on PC, and then you decided I want the BF4 Digital Deluxe Edition because I want whatever bonus items that come with it, and you have these all on PC, you're only going to get one key. Now, what this kind of reminds me of, and I'm sure it's going to happen with China Rising as well, is the Back to Karkin expansion pack, the DLC. I felt that that was a bonus for pre-ordering the game, for giving them their, giving them money and showing support before the game came out. And then they came out with BF3 Premium, and Karkin was bundled into it. And if you already had Karkin, nothing happened. It just kind of was like, oh, you have two Karkins and you can't give away one key, which is kind of unfortunate. It would be nice if you could do something with that, but that's how it is. Hopefully, maybe that'll change with the next Premium that I'm assuming is going to be coming out for Battlefield 4. I'm sure we won't hear word on that for a while. Now, the last thing about the beta is there any dates announced? No, there aren't any dates announced. There has been a release date announced of October 29th. Now, going by previous betas, I believe that Bad Company 2's beta started maybe 2 months before, 2.5 months before the game came out, and I think it was about the same with BF3. So we have a release date of October 29th. I'm kind of expecting that beta will start beginning of September, maybe end of August if they're feeling a little crazy. And that's basically it for the information that they released with the Xbox One information. There's going to be a new batch of information that's going to be released at E3, which I believe is June 10th. So it's less than a month away, and we're going to be seeing some new stuff. As far as what they have said is going to be there, we're going to be seeing some multiplayer gameplay. How much, I don't know. If they're actually going to release it as a promotional video that's in high quality, or if it's going to just be off people with camcorders there recording it, I don't know. I'm hoping that they actually put out a trailer showing some real multiplayer footage, but that remains to be seen as well. But as far as what else is going to be shown at E3, they have really not said much. So keep your eyes open and make sure to check back here, because I'm going to be going over that information as well as soon as that releases. So as always, this is Kurgan, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in my next episode.